Ladies and gentlemen, I'll speak English, so just giving you a few seconds for those of you that need to put your headphones on. I'm very pleased to address you here today on behalf of the Directorate of the European Commission in charge of public procurement policy. Over the past years, I have had the opportunity to manage the reform of public procurement policy in Europe, which resulted in the adoption of the new public procurement directives. At this occasion, I would like to congratulate Slovakia on their timely transposition into the national legislation of the European package. My team has been working hard on designing a wide range of policies to support the objectives of the new directives in all EU member states. These do not refer only to e-procurement, but also to innovation, sustainable procurement, professionalization, or support of joint cross-border purchases. At the local level, Slovakia was chosen 2 years ago for deployment of a customized public procurement country strategy. A team of my collaborators, some of them are around here, proposed to the Slovak authorities an enhanced dialogue on specific measures to be taken in order to improve several aspects of the public procurement practice, including e-procurement. Therefore, I would like to take the opportunity today to explain you the reasons of our interest in e-procurement in 3 following aspects. First, why e-procurement matters for the European internal market. Second, how are we supporting the member states in improving their public procurement systems? And third, what do we perceive as the main challenges slowing down transformation of public procurement in Slovakia? So first of all, why do we care about e-procurement at the European scale? And why do we think that all of us should care about it as well? As this particular forum is one of the main in Slovakia dealing with impact of technology on public administration, I believe there is no need to present the benefits of digitizing any workflow that is facilitating the interaction between the state on the one hand and businesses and citizens on the other. The core value of this work is even more crucial in the hard times we're facing nowadays. E-procurement is part of the uncontested positive agenda. It can contribute to rejuvenating the public space and adding yet another reason for businesses and citizens to trust in the added value of the public services for their lives. In this context, we appreciate the activities of the Slovak presidency of the EU, such as the Council conclusions adopted in September on the e-government action plan, which call for adherence to principles of effective public procurement when purchasing e-government solutions. The procurement reform envisaged in the directives is gradually advancing, as many member states, regions, and contracting authorities display high confidence in tech-enabled modernization. Nevertheless, many are still lagging behind. I often have the impression that the national discourse does not sufficiently recognize the necessity to ensure fair competition as the key to delivering a maximum value for taxpayers' money. Public procurement is here neither to fill the pockets of the decision makers, nor to make sure the contracts are kept with the local or well-established provider. Be it apples from the local orchard or the supplier of software that is keeping all copyrights. Slovak contracting authorities should be interested in using the full potential of a transparent competition on dynamic markets, be it local, regional, or European. Only then can they obtain the most state-of-the-art solutions at the most competitive prices, irrespective of how well connected the new entrants may be. Maybe you can think that this is a nice vision, romantically designed somewhere in Brussels, and is too far away from the realities of the member states. However, I can assure you that this is not the case. Once Slovakia will have dealt with the challenges slowing down its procurement reform, like many other member states are doing as we speak, it will become the new normal to offer equal market access to even small local players and to smartly challenge the whole EU market. This will bring not only more efficient solutions to the Slovak public administration, but the Slovak companies will have a chance to align their offers to the EU cutting-edge standard and grow beyond the Slovak market. Technically speaking, ladies and gentlemen, the end-to-end e-procurement plays a vital role on the path to fulfilling this vision because, first, it reduces the bureaucracy along the entire procurement life cycle, making public bidding accessible even to small enterprises. Secondly, it streamlines and simplifies the purchasing workflow for the buyers, leaving them with free capacity to focus on their core business rather than the legalistic side of things, which can ultimately result in better value for money. And third, it adds transparency and accountability to public purchasing, disclosing the real added value of the supplies. Let me give you now a couple of examples of what the Commission is doing to speed up the transition to smarter procurement. So how are we supporting the member states in their public procurement strategies and their public procurement reforms? A significant part of my work and the work of my team is dedicated to tailor-made country strategies. Our experience confirms that in addition to the overarching pan-European policy work, engagement at the national level is necessary to ensure a successful implementation of the policies. Within the framework of our intensive dialogue with all relevant bodies of the Slovak administration, we agreed on a concrete set of actions that we believe will improve the quality of the Slovak public procurement and the country's readiness to effectively use the European structural funds. Let me give you a couple of concrete examples which relate to two areas identified as problematic: readiness for end-to-end e-procurement and quality of professionalization of the public buyers. On e-procurement, from the e-procurement domain, we have put in place a consultancy project whereby the OECD is advising the Public Procurement Office, UVO, on strategic aspects of e-procurement reform. These cover a wide range of strategic, legal, as well as technical issues, such as recommendations on consolidation of e-procurement governance, integration of existing tools to one ecosystem based on a once-only principle, open data and data protection, up to small but important details such as e-signatures and business intelligence tools. We have also provided grants to organizations operating e-procurement platforms, such as the UVO or the Ministry of Interior, to integrate the software solutions that we have developed to simplify cross-border bidding. The first example is the web service to generate the electronic European single procurement document, which is the mandatory self-declaration of eligibility for procurement across the EU. The second example is the e-Certis, an online mapping tool which clarifies which are the documents used as evidence to prove fulfillment of exclusion and selection criteria in various member states. To boost the quality of training and preparedness of buyers for the new legislative rules, we are first actively working with the UVO, the Public Procurement Office, on the design of their training strategy. Two, connecting them with the best practices in other member states. And three, members of my team are regularly present in Slovakia, talking to end users on various aspects ranging from the legislation to softer policy aspects, such as how to use public procurement to boost innovation or social inclusion. The training strategy designed by the OECD addresses detailed aspects of training design, delivery and evaluation, including moving from price only to more quality-based purchasing, drafting of technical specifications, or strategic objectives such as innovation, increased access of SMEs to business opportunities, etc. We're also managing 2 expert groups dedicated to e-procurement and e-invoicing, where the Member States and Commission representatives shape together all aspects ranging from legislation to standards and sharing of best practices. Feedback from the Member States confirms that those conversations provide a valuable input for improving the national systems. Now, a few words on the transformation of public procurement in Slovakia. Ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, based on your extensive experience with various e-government projects, even e-procurement policy cannot be understood in a narrow scope of investing into and deploying 1, 2, or an X number of e-procurement platforms. Technology is just a tool. Simple replacement of good old paper procedures does not do anything magic. The tool must accompany a well-thought-through series of steps, transforming all layers of the public procurement ecosystem. The way procurement is planned, conducted, and evaluated, the way in which all relevant institutions collaborate when designing this transformation, and the degree to which integrity accompanies the purchasing process, and politicians, buyers, as well as companies are all held accountable for their behavior. To ensure that these elements are much more present in the Slovak discourse on e-procurement, we have a very constructive dialogue with the relevant actors. While this collaboration is much appreciated, we would also welcome a clearer direction at a strategic level, political ownership, visionary leadership, and ultimately good governance for implementation of this vision. Last but not least, all of this should be underpinned by an excellent administration with a high sense of integrity. As e-government experts, you're all very well aware of the opportunities offered by the modern technology and the possibility to replicate seamless workflows that we know from the private sector, so that the once-only principle becomes a reality also in the Slovak administration. I count on you to use the momentum of these months as the Slovak governance is being redesigned. As a conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this introductory teaser helped broaden your perspective on the objectives of the EU public procurement policy. If you're interested to discuss this in more details, you're more than welcome to join us in the afternoon at the panel dedicated to e-procurement in Slovakia. I wish you all an interesting and successful conference. Thank you very much for your hearing me.